I'm really influenced by the Silver Age. So Barry Allen, who starts in 1950 and goes till Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's what drew me into the character when I started reading the comics. And the tone and attitude of that Barry Allen is what I've always been keenly interested in exploring. I've always really enjoyed him as someone who lacks the self-assurance and the cockiness that we generally associate with super-heroism.
Form the physicality of this person who's moving in a way that we don't understand. How does he get going? Or when he's slowing down his molecules, what does that mean for his breath? And then how does he stop? Maybe when he's coming to a stop, it's like a... And when he's in motion, when we kind of come into his perception, flash time. Fascinating, the idea that like your mind quickens, which means your perception slows to meet the speed at which you're going. The time that no one would ever see. Like, what does that look like? This massive current running through him. It's the funnest thing in the world. I'm talking about it like it's serious. I'm a crazy person. And they say, yes, you can pretend to be a superhero.
What's awesome about the Flash, just to get real, it's a singular power. If it wasn't for his scientific understanding, that ability wouldn't mean much. You could move fast. But because he understands the relation between matter and energy and Speed Force in the quantum field, now he knows, oh, I can walk through solid objects because I can vibrate my particulates at such a rate that they miss all the other particulates. Or, yeah, I can travel through time.
The Flash is unique amongst the Justice League. He's the first quantum superhero because he follows how pitch, speed, and velocity determines the makeup of reality.
Barry Allen / the Flash is inherently interested in quantum mechanics because he's running into them. So yeah, he's an explorer. You know, he's a voyager. I think that's something that's made the Flash such an interesting character for all of its history, is that it's someone who can run into our ideas about physics, about how the world works. It's a character very much inspired by physics and by the works of these incredible people like Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, some of the people who I think Barry's really interested in, people who I'm really interested in, so it works out.
Anyone who knows anything about Barry Allen knows that he's always late.
Yeah.
But then when he arrives, he gets stuff done. And that's definitely how this film's production schedule is proceeding.
There's something really basic and human about the story. We all have things in our past that we wish didn't happen, and we all struggle with trying to rectify them, wondering what could have gone differently, what could we have done differently. And a lot of people live with sort of the pain of trying to solve problems in their past. This is a journey from someone who refuses to give up hope to someone who can finally find the acceptance that makes healing possible.
I don't think Barry thinks of himself as a clown per se. I think he responds to his own anxiety. He responds to his own trauma with humor, just like a lot of the funny people I know.
He's been struck by the lightning. That's the mythos. But he's a human. He can run through walls. He can run across water. He can run so fast that he can move into another plane of frequency where there's another reality.
God archetype, who's also a very normal human in some ways.
Dude, come on! Irresistible!
Man, it feels good to be back.
Yeah!
I talked about this one issue of The Flash. He saves a group of people as a building is falling. But then they're all standing out on the street and they're like, we don't have anywhere to live. And he's like, 1 second. And he builds their home back, you know what I mean? Because he can study architecture really quick. That moment is so representative of the type of hero that he is. You know, this altruistic figure. And someone who has an open heart. You know, Barry Allen is the hero of the Silver Age who follows a lot of really interesting discoveries in physics. Is like where he comes from is we figured out the event horizon was there, and then he was the character that was created through our mythos machine of comic books to break that event horizon so we could explore, you know, in fantasy. And I think that's an interesting idea. And what's an interesting idea to me is like, what the f does that do to someone?
Right.
And the speedsters are the ones who connect all of the disparate pieces of it. Because Marvel is a universe, right? It's just one world and all the same characters in it. DC is a multiverse. All these different stories with different realities, different characters and versions of characters. And the speedsters are the ones who move through it all. They're like the connecting bridge between all these different collaged parts.
But lastly, we got to talk about the tights, and it's hard for you, I'm assuming, to get away from the tights of the Flash. You just live in them, you love them, you're comfortable.
Yeah, once you find tights, there's really no going back, because your legs are just swaddled like wee babes in blankets.
It's so aerodynamic.
It's true. I mean, it's true. If I fell over, it would happen quicker.
Are you avoiding this TV show? Because people like the TV show, as you know.
I'm not avoiding it. I'm not avoiding it at all.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And come on, we're the Flash. It's parallel universes.
It's all good.
Grant Gustin is the Flash, and I'm the Flash. Don't you see? It's the event horizon. We crossed it, baby. Grant and I are chilling.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a race. It's gonna be dope. Like Jay Garrick and Barry Allen back in the day. It's gonna be dope.
So are you?
Hypothetically, if there's a chance for you to do a crossover with other characters, who would you want to team up with the most?
Crossover with other characters of DC?
Yeah, me as the Flash. Green Lantern, Brave and the Bold. I really love the series, The Brave and the Bold, where it's Green Lantern and the Flash as like friends. So that's a dream. But wow, there's a lot. Who you want to pull into? Who you want to get involved?
I think they made it also just especially to look awesome.
Very interesting question. Who is faster, Superman or the Flash?
The Flash. I mean, we should talk about. There could be some gray areas
There's a history.
if Superman was flying. If Superman had just punched the Flash really hard in the face, then Superman would be faster.
Learning this now, or were you a comic guy?
I've been a comic guy, but I'm going in as hard as
Clearly.
possible
Yeah.
because I have a serious excuse to.
Yeah. You might as
I
well.
have the ultimate license to geek out so hard all the time.
Sorry,
Josh,
guys,
do you
I gotta read more comic
understand?
books. I'm
I know
sorry.
you talking to people in this position a lot, but do you understand what I'm going through?
I
Do you?
And we're all jealous of you, but happy for you as well.
But here's what I realized is that anyone could just choose to read comic books all the time. And when people were like, what about literature? You'd be like, whatever, man.
I want to talk briefly before we go about you doing The Flash, which is coming out in 2018, which is super exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Films like this one and sort of, medium budget, you've done a lot of good, grown-up, independent-ish movies. And now you're doing the huge, massive, like, superhero blockbuster thing. Is that at all conflicting or not?
Nope. No, it's the first thing I ever did as a kid was this production of a contemporary opera that Robert Wilson directed and Philip Glass did the music for. And that was a huge production. And ultimately,
Comparing the Flash to that?
yeah,
It's basically
what
an
I'm saying
opera.
is that the Flash is hopefully we're gonna get Robert Wilson involved, get Philip Glass on the soundtrack. Honestly, we're maybe having a genius idea right now. But no. I think storytelling is storytelling, and I think that however we do it, through whatever forum, if we're telling good stories, that people can find some sort of portal within for their own experience and to reflect their own neuroses or joys or whatever emotions or feelings or thoughts. I think I'm interested in being involved. Right.
Congratulations to you. The Flash is a huge deal. I'm wondering what it feels like to know what your big movie and your big projects are going to be 3 years from now.
It's a mixed bag. I must say I feel really happy about it in one way, because the idea of like actually having a steady job in my life is actually incredibly comforting and something that I didn't ever necessarily think I would have. And then of course there are the moments of responsibility, dodging adolescent me that dwells inside that is like, no, I don't want to. But that's a very small part. That at this point is a diminishing voice, and every time I think about that reality, it makes me extremely happy.
You look kind of happy.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
You hear it in your voice that you're stoked.
I am really stoked, and I would do it for 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, that contract could have said anything.
To ask Ezra, I know you can't say much because we're literally years away, but since we last spoke, you are going to be a superhero. You're going to be the Flash, man. This is amazing.
Yes.
Can you even say like how this like came about? Was this an exhaustive kind of process in terms of auditioning and?
More importantly, is there a part for like say a guy who plays mid to late 40s?
Dr. Manhattan could show up. You never know.
No, he died.
or Flash's
He's
friend.
definitely gone.
Yeah,
Does
Flash
have a friend?
I would hope.
He's gone.
So when's the new Flash coming? So is
The Flash is already here.
but like the movie.
New, old, eternal, also terminal. I can't tell you anything.
Okay. All right, I respect that. Awesome. You don't know him, but you're about to. This is the Flash, and we're gonna hit the event horizon, baby. You hear that?
I heard that.
You hear that?
I heard that,
We're
baby.
doing it. We're hitting the event horizon, baby. Woo!
I'm really delighted at how focused everyone is on getting it just right. And I'm really devoted to that as well. And I honestly, like, we won't make the film unless it's going to be this consummate, beautiful offering to the fans and to everybody. I mean, we're just going to make a fantastic movie, but we're really focused on making it this, like, super gift to DC fans.
Thank you. The fans are really excited about the film.
Not as excited as me.
This is what we need. We need more love and more stories, more comic books and funny outfits, and less murder and hatred. My name is Ezra Miller, and I am criminally excited to be a part of the Justice League.
I'm just so excited to explore him and explore that for as long as possible, even if it just means this, because that's, I mean, honestly, it's an incredible gift to the world, the long history of the Flash. It's one, you know, I feel so lucky to be a part of these great stories.